You are welcome to our lesson number 4 in Excel, and we are continuing with the formulas. In today's lesson, we want to base our discussion on absolute cell referencing after looking at the relative cell referencing. Absolute reference does not change when you copy a formula. So that means that it remains constant. To make a cell reference absolute, type a $sign before both column letter and row number. For example, $A, $7. The absolute reference is useful in cells that contain constant values or values to be reused in calculation. So let's look at an example. You are required to open a suitable application program and enter the data below exactly as it appears, maintaining the respective cell addresses. Okay, so save it as a absolute debug. So we are going to come up with this in our spreadsheet, and we see when to use the absolute cell reference. So let's come up with our table. It must look the way this one is. So we are having Blueprint Limited employees record, and as you can see, the cells were merged and centered. But before you apply the merge and center, first type Blueprint Limited employees record normally. So let's do that. So we are going to type it here normally first. Blueprint Limited employees record. Records. Okay. Then there is a name, basic pay, transport. So name begins on cell B, column B, basic pay, transport. But look at the way these ones are appearing. That means that they were wrapped. So make sure you wrap this row here before typing anything. So simply first count the number of columns: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you come here and count the number of columns that you are going to cover, that the row is going to cover before you wrap. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So up to H. Simply come and select those cells that you are going to wrap up to H. Then go ahead and wrap text. Okay. Then from there you can go back and type in what is supposed to be typed. The first one is name. The second one, we have basic pay, transport allowance, night duty allowance, gross pay, revenue tax, then net pay. So we are done with entering them. Now we need to make sure that it looks like this one. So here we have 2 lines, 2 lines, 2 lines, 2 lines, not 3. So you can come and work on this one first by merging and centering. So make sure you select the first cell to the last one where the table ends. Then you do that. So when we come here, you can also even play around with, if you want, you can play around with the text, the font size, bolding, etc. So when you look at this, we want it to be only in 2 lines, so expand the cell a bit. The same to this, expand a bit. This one, reduce a bit. Then this one also you can reduce. So there we have come up with it. Then we can reduce this one also. Okay. So that's exactly the way our table look like. So when you come back there, so that's one. Then the other one, let us enter the rest of the text. So here we are going to enter 1 up to the last one. So we are there. As you can see, we have entered in our text the way it is supposed to be. Okay, let's now go to the next one. There is additional information where they have told us to get the gross pay, it is equivalent of basic pay plus all allowances. So we have our basic pay, we have the allowances here. So for you to get the gross pay, simply just add the basic pay plus these allowances. Net pay is a function of gross pay minus tax. Using absolute cell referencing, calculate the revenue tax for all employees, having in mind that it is 10% of the basic pay. So we are calculating the tax revenue. So our tax revenue here, we can even first begin with the gross pay, because here they have told us that the gross pay is equivalent of basic pay plus allowances. So we shall have equal basic pay, the first one is here, plus all the allowances. We have transport allowance, and there is also night duty allowance. Then we return the answer and we copy for the next people. Then the tax revenue is 10% of the basic pay. 10% of the basic pay. Now this is where absolute cell referencing is going to be used. Now why are we going to decide to use that? Simply because the 10% is already located somewhere in some cell address. So we are not going to type here 10% simply because they have given it a location here. They have typed it in here. If at all we had not typed it in here, we simply just come and type it there. But since it is located in a certain cell address, then we must use that cell address here, and it must be the same cell address here, the same cell address here. So that's why for us to make it a constant cell address, we introduce in a $sign to fix it, and that's what is called the absolute cell reference. So we are going to have equal sign. The 10% which is on cell D11, click on it. So let me first show you something. Times, because they have said of the basic pay, times our basic pay, which is this one. The answer will be that. Now when I try to copy this formula to the rest here, these ones will give me 0. Why? Because when you come here, you are having a cell D11 times C3, which is this one, which is okay. Now when you come to the next one here, we are having D12. Now D12 is here, which is empty. It has taken it to be 0. When you come here, D13, so the cells are changing instead of fixing. So that means that we are expected to see D11 here times this. Here D11 times that. So we must fix that cell address. So that means that we are going to have equal sign. Then this D11, since we want it to be fixed, to be constant, to be used for all these cells, we now introduce in $sign by simply pressing on F4. Then times the first basic pay, and you will get that answer. Then you come and copy for the rest. You will realize that this time we are not having 0, because when you come to the next one here, your D11 is already there. This one here, your D11 is there. That's nice. Okay. Net pay is a function of gross pay minus tax. So we can get net pay, which is equal to gross pay, and our first gross pay is here, minus tax, and our tax is here, and you get that answer. Then you copy for the rest. So it is giving us this because of the width of our cell. We can even enlarge it, and you can see we are getting that answer there. All right, that's all that I wanted us to look at here, how to use absolute cell reference in case you have a cell, a specific cell that you want to use for all other cells, and you want it to remain constant. Thank you so much. Let's meet in our next lesson.